Well, hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the show, Azure Billy and the one and only Bridgeman. Evening, boys.
Evening, Ox. Evening, Bridgeman.
Well, can I say a huge good evening to you guys, and obviously to the technical guys in the background. Thank you very much for coming on with me, Billy. I'm happy with that. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Just for the record, Bridge, you're running out of partners. Billy's the last one left. I can go.
That's I'll just retire. Just retire.
Undefeated, mate.
Aye. Good to hear for you, Bridgeman. Good to hear for you. How are you, Billy?
I am all right, mate. Still got a wee bit of sniffles, but
get a rest. You're like, Bridgeman. Sponsored by Handy Andy's, Bridge, yeah?
Handy Andy, aye.
No sympathy.
You don't get sympathy here, that's for sure. You don't get it here.
No, I know that, mate. I know that, buddy. We shall soldier on as one shall say it, mate.
Well, let's just say, Bridgeman, I reckon there must have been a 20-minute spell in the second half. It must have cheered them up a bit yesterday, yeah?
I think so, yeah. It cheered everybody up, in particular myself, you know.
Yeah, okay, so...
nice to watch.
Aye, we played a game, a bit of pace and tempo. The team selection, I think he surprised us all, Billy. You had said that he would start Cholak, and I said, don't be so stupid, because they'll no play him on a heavy pitch where he might get injured coming back from injury. Billy.
Well, I stand to be corrected, mate, and shot down and played at the same time.
You were right, he did start.
Aye, I thought he would start, mate, just for the reason that to give Alfie a wee rest. But when we speak about the game as the show goes on, the ball wasn't really sticking as much as it should be doing, and that's what Alfredo Morelos' game's all about. And it's certainly when Alfie come on, and obviously the big man, I think he took a knock, so let's hope he's okay. But when Alfie come on, he started to hold the ball.
Let's get to the start of the game before we get to half time, Billy. Right, so the team selection, right?
Hey, bother.
Let's get the team selection at the start of the game.
Right, go.
Right, so the team selection, I think a lot of us were surprised, Bridge, that Coa had come in for Morelos. We understood it. We're trying to get all our players minutes. Alfie's got a knock. He's coming back from injury. So it was pretty much the same team. Ryan Jack came in for Kamara, and I was actually surprised that maybe Tav and Golston made it, Bridge.
Yeah, I think, I was delighted that both Tav and Golston were on.
Mm-hmm.
They need continuity. They need to play all the time, and the boy Ben Davies beside them. But you know, I think there's something. I'm not picking something up. Let's put it that way. I think he's desperate to get Kovac back in and get him as many minutes as possible. Get him on for the start. You feeling okay, right? Go and play and do what you can. Obviously, I
didn't think that. That's not the way I looked at it when I seen the team, Billy. And I don't know what you think. When I seen Cholak coming in, I thought, all right, he's trying to give him minutes to get his fitness. He's telling us that Morelos has been playing with an injury. I just seen it as a combination of a few things, Billy.
It was a bit of both, wasn't it, Ox? That's what I was thinking as well, mate. You know what I mean? It gives Alfie a rest, plus it gets minutes and gets minutes into Big Kovac's legs. So, other than that, mate, we're no mind readers, buddy, but along the lines of that, it was good to see our settled back four again, albeit with Tavernier still if he's got a wee note, mate, you know what I mean? But it's a settled back four, I
thought that Tav he didn't have an outstanding game, but I thought his movement through the piece was okay, better than it has been for a while. So maybe whatever he has is starting to clear up. Hopefully, we're just getting it wrong, Bridge, and he's just been out of form, and he's maybe come back to form.
But that's a good point. Look, to me, there's definitely something no right. I don't know what it is. But you look at the difference between first half, second half. For Tav alone, it's night and day. Mm-hmm. It's just night and day. And that was
the game started, and we retained the ball for most of the whole first half pretty well, moved it side to side, and we never really created a lot, and they had a couple of chances. My criticism would have been to the guys, the two in midfield, who grew into the game in the second half, Billy, but in the first half, I just think we moved the ball full slow. That was only my criticism. We kept the ball, most of the half. They had a couple of chances, and McLaughlin had a fine save when the one he flicked away, Billy. We didn't really threaten our goal as much as we should have done with that possession.
No, mate. It's back to the old scenario again, mate. A game of two halves type thing. It's like a Jekyll and Hyde performance for the Rangers again, wasn't it? I mean, the first half, mate, we never really got going, as you said. Everything it was all slow and it was pedestrian type thing. And it showed big time, you know what I mean? When we're moving the ball about from side to side and we're not really making no cutting edge up front. We weren't going to shut players down and like players running off the ball and all that, mate. So it was a poor first half performance, mate. So it was.
There was pluses in it for me, Bridge. Ben Davis, who looked more and more comfortable, and there was some decent passing involved and some decent movement, but we didn't threaten enough the goal enough. The final pass, the final choice of pass, the final move. Sakala was seen one half of fashion and one half, and will come from sure to come on to second half, Bridge. But in the first half, let's be honest, we weren't great, were we?
No, and I thought it was obvious we couldn't find Cholak at all. No matter what we did, we couldn't find Cholak. The boys just wouldn't have dropped him for him anyway. But I think that's down to just in general. They 11 men inside their own box at times, So obviously we've been there before against teams that they just pack the defence for big sections of the game, and then they break out and actually were quite dangerous. They could have scored a couple of goals quite easily. We wouldn't have been surprised. You and I wouldn't have been surprised, but we'd have been shocked that the Rangers have done it again. But we wouldn't be surprised if someone would have scored a goal against us. However, they didn't, and I don't know what the what you call it, the possession was for the whole game. I think it's somewhere about 80% for Rangers. That's my thoughts. I don't know. You guys maybe have some stats there, but I thought it was something like 80%. And I thought big chunks of that first half, for some reason or other, we just couldn't string two passes together. Sometimes the second pass was a badging, that kind of completely different the second half.
It wasn't great, and I don't know what you think, Billy. Cholak did look as if he was somebody coming back for injury, didn't he?
Aye, well, he's not going to be Matt Sharpox for a start. No. You know what I mean?
No,
he's a big fit guy. You know what I mean? And you can see his body mass, mate. How fit he is. He looked lean and he looks big and strong. You know what I mean? So he is fit, but to come when you miss matches, you lose that match fitness and that match sharpness, and it did show, mate. It did show with a big man, but. We got, as we said, we got 45 minutes off him, and
unfortunately, he's got a wee knock on his calf. Hopefully, that's just wear and tear for the coming back. Billy, just a wee knock that will shake off and be ready to go at the weekend again as part of the squad. Hopefully,
yeah, definitely, mate, definitely. It's good, and we also seen it was good to see Kemar Roof back as well. So
let's get to half time, Billy. Let's get to half time, right? Yeah, let's get to half time. Yeah.
Right. Alright, no bother, mate, go.
So, Bridge, I'll try and help Bill out here. The referee blew for half time, and then it was a different game, right? Right, okay, so then the second half started, Bridge, and we came out on fire. We came out with a bit more tempo in our game, and we just looked, I don't know what you thought, Bridge, it just looked better, didn't it?
But I think they've had, got an absolute roasting for the manager, that's what I think. But it was outstanding play, tremendous play, and two super goals, absolutely super goals. And we were all over them. I think once that first goal went in, they just gave up. I think they just started to give up then. But they hardly their half of the second half, it was just a one-way street. Just a one-way street for us. And that could have been, it was 2 going on 12, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know why we can't score. we're still not getting good shots in outside the box. But the first half was a prime example of what the kind of things that's been happening with us. You have a shot, and there's 11 people in that box of their colour. We can't get past them. We just can't get past them. You can shoot all you want. I just find it incredible that people can get a shot at goal, and it goes through 6 or 7 bodies and it goes into the net. Just incredible. But we were very unlucky that way. Very unlucky.
So we started the second half well, Billy. We started them really well with a bit of pace. We were starting to run about their goal, and then on 54 minutes, I think it was Fashion played it back to Borna, I think, or it might have been Ryan Kent. I can't remember. I'm doing this from memory. I've not checked it today. He played into Ryan Jack. Ryan Jack put a wee flip with his shoulder, and Fashion showed a burst of pace and a bit of skill that just beyond belief, considering the first half all he done was follow the ball. We've seen the two sides of Fashion. What a goal, Billy!
Oh, different class, mate. I've said it in the show before. Ox, Bridge, Fashion's the type of player, and I think anyway, that when he's no get time to think, you get the best moments out of him. I mean, and it was a lovely wee ball for Barris. It's a nice wee flick for Ryan Jack. But how good was his first touch, mate? He flicked it up with one and he smashed it away in the volley, another movement, mate. He knew exactly what, well, he knew exactly what he was going to do, but how he done it, he probably doesn't know himself. You know what I mean? But what a finish, mate. Absolutely top drawer. Fantastic goal. And, well, credit where credit's due to the wee man, mate, because if he can put the ball in the back of the net like that, mate, it's only going to be beneficial to Rangers over the season and any cup games we're going to play. I thought his goal was magnificent, Ox.
Oh, it was a brilliant. I don't know if I cheered or I was in shock, Bridge.
Yeah, I think we were heading that way with loads of pressure, but my goodness gracious, what a lovely series of passes and chips and things like that. And yeah, I agree with you. I don't know how much connection Ryan Kent got on the ball or meant to get on the ball. But my God almighty, it worked well for us. And Fasher put a burst of pace and absolutely lashed that ball in.
Oh, it was Ryan Jack that played the one on his shoulder.
I meant that, sorry. I do apologise. Yeah, I don't know whether it hit his shoulder, hit his head, or hit both, for that matter. But my goodness, it worked as magic anyway. Just superb. Nobody could say it wasn't a good goal. That was a great goal. One of the better goals, I'll tell you.
What I noticed as well, Ox, with the goal is when he burst into the box, mate, there were 2 Dundee United players came towards him and they couldn't do nothing because he was that quick. He actually beat 2. If you watch the goal back again, he's by 2 players in a flash, and he's that quick that they're standing with their hands up because they couldn't cope with his pace, and because they know if they go to ground, Bridge will know better than anybody else. If they go to ground and didn't take the ball, it's a stonewall penalty. You know what I mean? So the 2 of them stood out. So he's bursty pace or that 5-10 yards, mate, was absolutely frightening as well. So it was.
Just to let you know, Bridge got player of the season one year and he only touched the ball 4 times, Billy, the whole year. That's how he tackled. Right.
Aye, good mate.
Right, oh, what a goal. Just talk about Fashion Sakala. I don't know how to describe him. His enthusiasm, Bridge, for the game, the way he plays the game is entertaining. He's going to do some sublime things and then he's going to do the ridiculous misses. That's what you're going to get from him. But see his numbers, see his goals when he starts. His return is pretty good, mate.
Yeah, I think we've spoke about him in the negative because he's been pretty poor sometimes. But you can't praise him highly enough. And the last few games over this, let's say, last month, since Beale came back into us, look, he's transformed him, and he's transformed a few players, and he's doing well with Sakala. For whatever reason, Sakala just loves playing for him. Loves playing, and that's what I want to see with Alfie Morelos. That big smile on his face.
I'll tell you what we're going to do.
Whenever he scored a goal, he used to be great, and he battered lumps at the centre halves and the opposition. He's hardly touching them now.
And then now, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Since we're talking about Fashion Sakala, we're going to hear from him.
Fashion, tell us about today's game and how happy you are with that win.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the 3 points. Obviously, in the first half, it was a little bit difficult for us to find the goal, but I'm very happy with the performance of the boys. I think we really tried everything in the second half to get a goal and make sure that we get the 3 points.
You mentioned the first half. What was it about the first half that made it difficult?
I think a little bit of, maybe it was a little bit congested. I think they were defending with 9 players in the box, so it was very difficult for us to find chances, but they opened up a little bit in the second half. Obviously, they wanted to find goals, and then, unfortunately, we got them.
Well, it's you that found that goal. Talk us through it.
Obviously, it was very important for the team. That's what we talked in the during halftime. The only option we had was to get the goal, and obviously we got the goal early in the second half, and it was a very important goal for the team. It brought back us into the game and gave us a lot of confidence to keep on going and fighting hard.
How much are you enjoying this run in the team just now? I think it's 3 goals and 2 assists under Michael Beale.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm having a very good time. I can't lie. I'm very happy. I hope I continue working extra hard and continue getting game time. It's very important, and I really appreciate for the good moment that I'm getting from the players. They are helping me very well to get the confidence and stay motivated all the time.
Does it help? Do you improve more by playing regularly and getting more up to speed?
Yeah, obviously, I can feel that the more I play, the more I'm feeling more motivated and getting the confidence. It was very difficult, obviously, in the beginning of the season, but now I'm feeling like a football player again. I'm very happy.
Is there anything the manager said or done to your game that's helped you improve in that way?
Obviously, he just told me when he came in that I know the task, why they signed me, because he was part of the technical staff when I signed for Rangers. He was second coach for Steven Gerrard. So he just said, remember what we talked about before we signed you, and you know the task why you are here. This is a very big club, and you know what you can do. I trust you, and I want you to get your confidence back. And I knew from that time that this is my time.
And another big week for Rangers, a big semi-final to come. How much are you looking forward to that with this win behind you?
Yeah, we are very excited. Obviously, we are done for today, and we need to think about the next game. You know, it's always a challenge when you play for Rangers. The most important thing is to win games, and we are very excited and looking forward for the game, and we are very confident to win.
Fashion, tell us about today's game and how it happened.
He's infectious, Billy. He's infectious.
he's so positive, isn't he? He plays the game with a smile on his face, Ox. You know what I mean? And he's got a brilliant character. So he has. Even when he wasn't playing there, you know what I mean? He was still smiling, and he's so infectious, Ox, a wee man. Like, you know, he's your own big daft smile he has. It's dead contagious and all that as well. He just he loves it at Rangers. You know, you can see he loves it at Rangers, mate. And the way he speaks about Rangers and what it means to him to play for Rangers. He gets it, Ox, you know what I mean? He gets it, the wee man gets it, and he knows what the club's all about, and he knows how much it means to the fans. Brilliant.
And then about 3 minutes later, Tap's coming down the wing. We have another good move, Bridgeman. We cut inside and we see the other side of Fashion. He's got 1 for 6 yards and he hits the goalie, yeah? Billy?
Aye, mate. That's exactly what he done, eh? It was he's took the harder chance, hasn't he? When he's flicked it with his right foot and smashed it in the volley with his left, and then he's got basically he could have went either side of the keeper and he's blasted it right at him. But that's just Fashion. That's just Fashion Sakala for you, mate. That's what he's all about.
The ball broke to Tillman, and Tillman with another good finish. That boy's numbers, I thought he was non-existent in the first half. In fact, I thought he was pretty poor, if I'm being honest, in the first half. Wasn't the only one. But he goes and does it again, Bridgeman. Another good finish, a goal.
If you can get let's put it this way, if you can get the players round about Tillman to be playing it to shall we say, top tempo. The best that he can do. He fits straight in. He does fit straight in, and he was involved in a lot of good moves. And my goodness, his touches are sublime inside the box. When he gets in the box, he's got that. He seems to be there to have a dig, and there he was, and he had a dig. Good goal. Crowded as well. Big crowds in there. He got it, placed it, but nicely. I think he's a smashing player. I'm not saying I don't know how much he's valued at. I don't know whether Rangers would pay £5 million for him just for saying sake. But he's worth a punt, I tell you that. He's got it. He's only a young man, too.
He's only young. 20. I think we forget how young he is. And he's about 20 learning his trade, and he's got a lot of flaws in his game, and he disappears, and he sometimes tries too much, Billy. But his numbers are good. Assists and goals, whether you like it or no. His numbers are fine.
Aye, he's definitely not the finished article by a long shot, Ox, isn't he? No. But he's definitely got something about him big time, and he's what I like about him as well. We can question his work rate at times, but I'm just putting that down to how fit he's been, Ox, as well, and trying to get up to the speed of the game here. In Scotland, because we all know, mate, it's 100 mile an hour stuff. But the big man, he's also got quick feet as well. If you watch him, his close control is different class, and he's got great vision. You know what I mean? He's not afraid to try a wee back heel. He's got good all the way around this. When he gets himself into different good positions, Ox. You know what I mean? If people make the runs 9 times out of 10, he'll try and find them, and that's what's good about his game as well.
Coming on. Right, I've just had a text, and the text today just want to take us back to Friday night. Somebody put a case forward about should be saying Kevin Nisbet. He's messaged me once or twice today, and he says, I told you, the boy's a goal scorer, but that's another subject. But fair play to the big south side. They got that man right, and he does his Super 6, Billy, if I'm being honest, you know.
Well, listen, there's a certain Rangers Radio panellist had a wee sneaky bet on him for the first goal yesterday too.
Oh, just because of that?
Yes.
All right. I think it's about time we got these phone lines open, Bridgeman.
Yeah, go for it, pal. Go for it.
I just think after we got the second goal, we just played the game out, if I'm being honest. Really played some decent stuff. Yeah, just controlled and had them chasing shadows, Billy, if I'm being honest, yeah.
Aye, that was, mate. But once we got the first goal, the second goal, that was that finished. They were never coming back, mate. But aye, get the phone lines open, mate, and get the Bears on, mate, to hear what they've got to say.
Can I just ask you a question just before we go to that?
Yeah, on you go, Mitch.
What do you think Rangers would be paying Hibs for that boy Nisbet?
I don't know, mate.
Roughly. 18
months left in his contract, I believe. That's my understanding. Yeah, so this time next year you can get him for nothing. So you're buying up to take him. Yeah. If you want to get somebody like that, I don't know, 1.5, Bridge.
Oh, I think you'd be a lot more than that for him. Yeah, you'd be a lot more than that. I do think so. But I wouldn't buy him. You know that. You know how I feel. Get him for nothing. Magic. Get him. Get all the players you want for nothing.
You get him this time next year for nothing. No.
Yeah.
That's where
I don't know. I don't think where they'll be.
1.5. I think it could be an option if he keeps scoring goals. He's come back for his injury, and I think he scored 5 and 6. Look, I've not seen the boy. I didn't see him yesterday, so I don't know what kind of player he is. I only see him against us. I'm a great believer you have to watch a lot of somebody to see how good they are, but his numbers are fine, but that's for another debate. Right, this is your show. It's Rangers Radio, and we're free for all our listeners. So come and join us in 0141 356 1972. Phone in, speak to the receptionist, we'll phone you back, and then we'll bring you into the call. Let's hear from you. So, can it be any easier? So, a lot of positives yesterday. Billy, you rightly said when we were talking about the team selection, we got Roof back on the park, who also looked ring rusted, but it's a slow process when you're coming back from long injuries, mate.
Aye, it is, mate. Of course it is. Especially with the big man with the history he's got of injuries, mate. But it was good to see the big man back because I think he was the top goal scorer in the 55th season, I think he was, mate. I think he finished that season top goal scorer. So it's always, if we can keep him fit it's always a good asset to have up top, mate. With Kolach, if he starts to score goals and then Alfie starts to score goals again, it's healthy competition, mate, and that's the goals will start to get spread round about the strikers and hopefully through the rest of the team as well.
It can only be a good thing getting the players back for injury. Listen, we've seen it's maybe took one of the ones that you're liking, Bridge. It's maybe took him a few weeks, Ben Davies, to get up to speed. Considering that was a heavy part yesterday. He played with a cigar, didn't he?
Yeah, I think you've seen over the last 4 weeks he's back, something like that. And you could see, I'm not saying he's going to improve every single week, but you could see the confidence that was out of the guy. And the more you could see that, the better. And Goldson is Goldson, and he's doing well. Unfortunately for Goldson, he's got to be in the centre of every bustle thing. And the ball continuously hits his body and nearly always hits his hand or his arm or something. So there's always controversy, or nearly always controversy, about whether there should have been a penalty against Goldson. And that's all you'll hear in the press, because they're only looking for that. But he is, to me, both of them, Magic getting on great. Both of them come back for injury, and let's hope they continue going like that, because they're getting stronger and stronger. I just want to have to get stronger the same day, same way, and you've got a really good defence in. I think they're great.
I thought I didn't like Lundstrom and Jack yesterday in the first half, Billy. They did a lot of the ball, and for me it was too slow. And that you've got to move it quick and muddy pitch and move people. In the second half, I thought the two of them came into the game, and Jack get involved a bit more forward, which was pleasing to see, mate.
Aye, it's. That I mean, the system the Rangers play, the 4-2-3-1 with the two holding midfielders, mate. I mean, it's no holding midfielders for nothing. But when that, I think I spoke to you before about this, Hawks, when Rangers play that system, the system's got to work as a unit. But I don't know what Michael Beale said in his team talk. He must have got the Superman cape on at half time and give them a bollocking, mate. But he certainly tightened things up in the second half, mate. And Ryan Jack and John, I thought John Lundstrom absolutely cruised the game, mate. Absolutely cruised the game. And we know he's carrying a wee injury with his ribs in that, mate. We know that. But I thought the big man was immense in the middle of the park, and especially the second half. He cruised it. He was another one with a cigar as well, mate.
Aye, the whole team. The two quick goals, and everybody looked a better player, Bridger.
Yeah, indeed. Absolutely. I think the spirit that our supporters took from both those goals went in, it was like heaven. And everyone just, not saying that the boys don't support the team and sing like hell. They were singing even better, and they just knew. And Dundee United, from every single person in that stadium, as Dundee United oriented, they knew that was it. Even when the first goal went in, they knew that was it. Because the Rangers just turned it on, and they were absolutely fantastic in the second half. Absolutely loved it. I just loved it, particularly beating them. Just loved it.
Aye, so it was a good day at the office, but I don't think we've won up there for 4 games, Billy. I think, yeah.
I couldn't. I don't know, mate.
Well, we never won last year. We get beaten, drew. So that's where we lost the league, if you're being honest. Yeah.
Well, aye. Yep. Aye, you'll be right there, mate. But listen, see the bottom line here is, mate. We're going to these away ground now. We're going to away grounds, and we're getting the points, mate. You know what I mean? We're finding a way to win, Ox, and that's good, mate. I mean, if somebody says to you, you go up to Tannadice, and would you take a 2-0 victory? You would bite the hand off them for that. You know what I mean? Because we know how these other teams, especially more so against the Rangers, try, So I mean, that's what's it? 3 clean sheets in 6 games now. We've scored 14 and conceded 6 or something in the league, mate. So we're definitely heading in the right direction, buddy.
Well, we went away to Ross County. We went away to Aberdeen, and we went away to Tannadice. We dropped 6 points for January onwards last year against the teams in the games. And ultimately, that was big points with that Bridgeman and a league run-in, wasn't it?
Killers, pal. And nobody knows it more than the Rangers fans. You sit and you're watching your team, you think, we're going to do this league, we're this and that next week. all of a sudden there was a form, a drop, or the stupidest passes, and so on and so forth. All the dirty, silly things that we know of, and they're still happening to us. And we just saw that when we lose to a team like Dundee United, even draw with a team like Dundee United, it's absolutely heartbreaking. And you have it, things just drain out of you. And it's not like the Celtic where you're saying, well, we could get them, we'll get them the next time. That was at Parkhead, we'll get them at Ibrox, and so on and so forth. I don't feel like that when you're playing Dundee United anywhere. If you don't beat Dundee United, if we don't beat Dundee United, I'm sick. I just can't stand it. And we should never, ever get beat by a team like Dundee United. Never. That team were absolutely dreadful, their team. They were smart, they were lovely wee passes sometimes, but you see the amount of body checking they do. It's incredible. The referee just ignores it. The amount of body checking is unbelievable. Terrible stuff. Terrible. Anyway, sorry, I'm on a rant now.
I don't know what he watches, Billy, but he sees a game. It's different telly. These big tellies must show you a different game.
I think he was watching it in BBC Two, I think.
If you ever get a chance to see any of that game again, you watch the way their players go in and they run in and body check. They're on full pelt as well. They just body check.
He was up showing them how to do it. Aye, but I didn't think they were great yesterday. Obviously, the boy Middleton had a couple of runs, put a couple of crosses in it. One that boy Fletcher got to. I don't know how they thought it was a corner is another story. And then the one about the flashing across the box and McLaughlin flicked away. That was it, mate. That was it in the whole game, wasn't it?
Aye, basically, mate. That was it, basically, mate. And listen, what's I'll tell you what's concerning me a wee bit, mate. And I'm hopefully it'll come together. It's the way we're starting sometimes as well. I mean, it's sometimes there's the perfect example. Yesterday, Michael Beale has to read the riot act or whatever he's told him at half time in the community. It's been a completely different team in the second half. Now, if you take that the second half performance or the way we're starting the second half into the first half of games, mate, and try and play that way or the full period of 90 minutes, mate, then that's the road we want to go down, because the last thing we want, mate, is if we concede a goal, because then we're chasing the game, and that's what gives these other teams an opportunity to sit in with their low blocks and everything gets all pedestrian and slow, and you know what I mean, right in front of them, everything's all happening in front of them, mate. So we need to try and get that out of our game to kick on. And there's signs there. There is good signs of things are starting to turn. And long may that continue, mate. But I'm just looking for a more complete performance, because we want to be entertained as well. But we all also understand as well, mate, but that Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say, mate. And it will come when he gets everything, when he gets all these players back and he starts to stamp his authority and new players in, or whatever the case may be, in January or whatever it is, mate. You know what I mean? So it'll come.
Potential for new players joining this week. We'll talk about them once we see them with a scarf above the head. We know it's going to happen, and we're hearing loads of different rumours and that, but we'll see what it takes us. But aye, look, Bridgeman, Michael Beale, since he's come in, it's not far away from being perfect as far as results are concerned, you know?
I can't praise the guy enough, sir. I just can't. I think he's done it. And there's no shouting and bawling. There's no nothing. They don't throw any tantrums or anything. He just gets on with it. And he says it as he sees it. And a lot of the time, he sees what we see and is very negative. What we see is very negative. But he could pick out the better parts of it, and he starts to mould the team into the way he wants it to be. And he's very successful up to now. Unbeaten? 6 games on? Unbeaten? That's good. That's a good run for Rangers. It's a good run. Consider what was happening to us before. And we've played against some tough teams. And we've got even tougher games coming up now. So looking forward to it all. I'm really happy with you. Really happy.
Hi. Well, you can see the confidence and maybe a bit more. Do we look a slightly fitter team? I'm not saying been a distance, Billy, but we look. There's something just looks slightly different about the team. I don't know if it's just there was a wee breakdown between Gio, and if you've listened to that Sakala interview, he said it's good to be treated like a football player again. I don't know if that was a sly dig
He's maybe it was just see that when you think about it, Ox Bridge, man, there's different coaches out there. I've got different methods of training, different way of thinking. You know what I mean? Some coaches or managers will be the type of manager or they'll put their air around players and they'll be hands on. Whereas other managers, which is a possibility with Gio, was maybe stoning off and letting other ones do the stuff round about him. And maybe the players thought that they couldn't approach him in the same manner as Michael Beale. So it can be a number of things, mate. But certainly regarding the fitness levels, mate, and what I've been watching the Rangers training in that, mate, their fitness levels seem to be getting a lot stronger. And the training as well, mate, they seem to be a lot more relaxed. And the training methods there's a zip about the training methods, mate. So there's definitely signs of things are definitely turning, mate, regarding the fitness levels, mate. And it was good to hear wee Fashion as well, mate, because the wee guys, as I said before, mate, he's just a lovely wee guy, mate, and he gets it big time, you know what I mean? And it's great for us. It's great for the club as well.
All right, mate. All right. So are you picking up all these small positives, Bridgeman? Because obviously the rest of it means nothing. It's all about results ultimately, isn't it?
Yeah, that's based on what I hear speaking to people that go to the games, the same as myself and same as yourselves. They were depressed with at the tail end of Gio's reign, and I'm not saying they were greatly happier. It's built up till now. I think everybody's very happy. I think the result against them at Ibrox and the way we played, I think there's a lot of Rangers fans still believe, same as me, we should never have lost that game because of there's something in the team. We lost that game for a team reason and a bad play reason, and we should never have had it. So 2 goals virtually gave away, 2 goals against them. And other than that, we outplayed them most big chunks of that game, particularly in the second half. But we need to smarten up. We need to get the team smartened up. And hopefully he's going to bring players in that can read a game, can watch what they're doing. And, you know, if you've only got 2 or 3 players that are decent quality, then you're going to have a struggle to get real good results and real good performances. But get some good quality players in, and everybody will love to like their game. Everybody loves their game. And they like playing with good quality.
All right, I'll come to you 2 in a second, but we'll just put it out there to the listeners. Come and join in. Who was your man of the match yesterday? On 0141 356 1972. Phone in, give your opinion. We'll be glad to hear from you. Right, Billy, who was your man of the match?
I'm going to say Ryan Kent, mate.
Ryan Kent, that's interesting. I had a debate about somebody with him today. What's your rationale there, mate?
I just think he looks a lot happier. He's working harder, mate. He's got that free roll, and I thought he'd done everything bar put the ball in the back of the net yesterday. Obviously, we know his numbers and his stats and whatnot could be better, but I think we're starting to see the Ryan Kent of old, mate, and he's getting his performances are getting better and better, and he's working hard as well, mate. He's also working. What's weighed it for me as well, Ox? He's working off the ball, mate. He's prepared to track back and work hard for the teammates. So that's what I like. I like that about a football player. They're prepared to do the dirty side of the game as well.
Mm-hmm. No, never felt his work ethic, mate. Even when he wasn't playing well, he's definitely more involved. But what did he create yesterday? And did he score?
That's exactly. I said that, Ox. I said we know. We know about him. Sorry?
I had the same debate with somebody today, actually. Funny enough, you know. Bridgeman, who you swaying for?
I was kind of torn between. I thought Ryan Jack did a tremendous game for us yesterday. And I also thought that...
first half?
Well, I think nobody shone in the first half. I don't think anybody was any good in the first half. But I thought the second half, I thought Ryan Jack had a really good, if it were me, a really, really good game. And of course, I would give a really good game to what do you call him? Junior Fashion Junior. I thought he had a tremendous game. But Jack, for me, would have got man of the match.
Okay. So he's both like Ryan's then?
Ryan, you're a Ryan.
Ryan Lampant.
Well, don't mention that, mate. Don't mention that. Right, okay. I get it. I mean, Kent is definitely getting more involved in this, but that's the problem. He's going to be judged in assists and what goals he scored. I don't know if he had any shots. One for outside the box yesterday, I remember. He's definitely more involved. I'll accept that, Billy. Flashing for the goal. Just. But once we got the first goal and Jack maybe made that flick, he just seemed to build a confidence as well, Billy. So there was a few players. That's good, isn't it? If people have got different players in it.
Of course it is. Oh, of course it is, mate. That's what we want to see. Eh? We know Ryan Jack's his injury history. We all get that, but we also know we shouldn't forget how good a football player Ryan Jack is when he's fit and he's healthy, because that's the Ryan Jack we know as well, mate. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to be our best player over a season, because obviously that's not going to happen, mate. But if Ryan Jack keeps on putting in performances like that, mate, it can only be good for Rangers in the middle of the park as well, because Ryan Jack is a fantastic footballer first and foremost, mate. And he gets something done as well, and he puts himself about, and he can pick a pass as well. You know what I mean? I'd like to see him score more goals as well for the middle of the park as well. Of course we would, but as I said, Ryan Jack is a proper football player, mate, and if we can keep Ryan Jack fit, then he's definitely got a future at Rangers. But that's the $1 million question, mate. Of keeping him fit. That's the only thing that's wrong with that laddie.
It's had a bad run over a long period of time. A bad run of injuries. A fit Ryan Jack at his peak, whether he'll ever get to that peak again with injuries and getting older, Bridge. But he's been a good signing for us, the piece, isn't he, in a difficult period. Yeah.
No, I think that you get. I mean, Ryan Jack to me would have been the Rangers captain. I think it was obvious that's what we wanted when we got him for Aberdeen. When there's somebody come in and be the tough tackler in the midfield and take on the captaincy whenever possible. Obviously, it never happened for him, and he's had some terrible injuries. But my God, he's been put some shows in for us. He's been a really good player for us. Scored some good goals at European level as well. So he's no fool. And there again, I gave him man of the match.
All right. So. Okay, we've been joined by Smurf. Evening, Smurf.
Evening, Hawks. Evening, everybody.
Hi, Smurf.
A wee bit of cold there, Smurf. You sound a wee bit.
I'm a wee bit bunged up.
He was steaming last night.
I hope you're not looking for sympathy, mate, because Oxford no give you. He never gave me anyway, pal. So we're in the same boat, buddy.
Don't you worry, Smurf. You got all the sympathy you want. You're one of my mates.
Right. So I'll just agree with Bridge there. I thought Ryan Jack, particularly in the second half, really sort of galvanised that midfield, and I thought it was quite inspirational actually. I was interested to hear their thought that maybe he would have been a Rangers captain, because I certainly see him like that. I know he's had injuries, a calf injury, and he's hampered with his knee and stuff.
Are you giving him a new contract, Smith? It must be.
That's what my boot is. Yeah. I would say if we could manage him and pick his games, I would, aye. But it'd have to be the right contract. It wouldn't necessarily.
Must be his turn for the 4-year deal.
No, I'm not going to give him a 4-year deal.
Exactly. That's my point.
No, I'm maybe give him a year's rolling contract. That's what I would offer him.
I think there's a lot of water to go under the bridge before noon the end of the season, mate.
Aye, and I was sitting there, I was looking at Alfie comes on, and a different dynamic, different type of player brings something different, and he's an easy target. Everybody has a pop at him, and as far as I'm concerned, he's ran his race at Rangers as well. But I've got nothing but plaudits for him, and I remember the good stuff. But he's playing with a couple of injuries as well. I don't think maybe people fully appreciate that. He's always in the firing line. He's always getting negativity surrounding him, and he just gets on me. And I thought the second half, that front three, Ryan Kent, Sakala, and Alfie, looked like I had something. Ironically, none of them are great finishers. So that makes me think, well, going forward, is that really a front? Is that really a front three that's going to take us forward?
I would say about Fashions. What is it to say? He scores great goals, but he's not a great goal scorer.
Aye, maybe you're right there. Aye, that was some goal yesterday. He got that and he creates a wee volley and then he cracks it. I think if he's one of the boys, if he thinks about it, or get it. He's got to be just hit it instinctively and great finish yesterday, but I don't know.
Maybe it's a complete opposite. Maybe his mind's elsewhere, and when he concentrates, he's better. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, but he's. I don't know that. I think Midfield, if he can, he'll keep Ryan Kent. That's
Ryan Kent or Ryan Jack.
Ryan Kent. I think if we keep Ryan Kent going forward, he's out of contract and all, and he's got that relationship with him. But the Alfie and I think they've run their race. Ryan Jack, a cut injury. Sorry, watching a game like that yesterday and you go, he was immense. But is he going to be immense 30 games a season?
I think for the three of them, as far as the Rangers' career is concerned, and there's an top turn in the team, and I thought Ryan Jack had an excellent second half yesterday, Billy.
Aye.
But I think there's a lot of water to sail under the bridge between now and the end of the season, mate.
Aye, that's right, Ox. I mean, if I agree with you, Smurf, as well. I would maybe give him a 1 year rolling contract if he gets to now to the end of the season, mate, and he's fit and he's healthy. Because as you said, mate, Ryan Jack, he's a cracking all round midfielder, mate. And I was actually thinking along the lines of Bridgeman as well when he's talking about he could have been a Rangers captain. You know what I mean? If we could have kept him fit, because he knows what the club's all about, mate. And he's got red, white, and blue veins running out through his veins. You know what I mean? Blood's running through his veins, coming from Aberdeen as well, mate. But he's a cracking football player, Ryan Jack, mate. And if we can keep him fit. And he can get a wee break for injury, mate, then why not? Why not? He's only 30 years of age. You know what I mean? Give him a 1 year rolling contract at the end of the season if he's on, let's see how many games he's played, But if he's going to keep getting niggles, mate, and we've got to go back down to his calf, if he keeps getting his calf problem, his knee problems and that, mate, then it'd be maybe time to just sit down and say to him, listen, thanks very much for your service, buddy. But Ryan Jack will know himself if he can carry on, and he's got to remember as well, if he's no one to end up with a long-term injury, it's going to hinder him and after his football career's finished. So he's got that to take into consideration as well. So he has, Do
you think it's any coincidence we're getting all these calf injuries since Michael Veal came in?
That's a good point.
Well, aye, with fitness training and stuff.
That was a joke. Calf, Veal. Oh, sorry.
Aye.
Sorry.
Very good.
Sorry, Smurf.
I went right on the top of my head and off, Smurf.
I know.
Right, okay. Right.
Bit too highbrow for me, that.
Right,
no, I think the guy's, as you see, he's an immense midfielder. When he's on his game, he gets it, and it's no just levels. It's no against the so-called sort of weaker opposition in your league. I mean, he's done it in Europe. He's done it everywhere, and I just think there's a lot of value in that. Really, there's another thing.
1911, I did.
You've got to. I think Scottish football's got to look at these plastic. I know it's a debate and a topic for another day, but you've got to look at these plastic pitches and stuff. The amount of injuries people are sustaining, and I believe that they're an issue. You know, so I don't think they should be allowing their top tier of their game.
I agree, mate. I agree. I think there's a place for them in grassroots, but not at the top level. You should have basic facilities. Not. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. That park wasn't great yesterday. You know what I mean? It's not the worst I've ever seen it, but you know, you go to certain parts of that, it's like a bog.
Aye. No, there's going to be standards, and you know, you're trying to have an elite game, an elite league, and trying to sell the product, as it were. I mean, how can you do that with playing in AstroTurf? It's a joke. And, you know, there's guys that are playing maybe at the top end of your league who are playing maybe two times a week or 3 times in 10 days if you've got European football, and you know they're always running hot, and they're prone to picking up injuries. They've got to go to places like Livingston and stuff like that. It's just not on. But we'll say the topic's another day.
Aye. Right, just before we run up to the tune, Michael Beale's come in, Smurf. Is your thoughts on him changed? Was he your first choice?
Absolutely not. I was... I thought it was just sad that he was, you know, that was what we were plumb, you know, where we're at, you know, financially, the state of our league, etc. The overall game up in Scotland, we're having to go to what I would call a speculative appointment, really. Mm-hmm. But you know, you want somebody with a bit more stature, but we are where we are, and he's come in, and well, I mean, apart from the draw when man came off, I mean, really, I mean, it's you can't fault him. It's almost 100% record, so what will continue?
Yeah. But when did you see him growing into Joe? People were maybe their concerns about him. Is he a front man? He definitely looks like a front man, doesn't he?
He definitely. To touch on Smurf's point, mate, I hadn't a clue who we were going to go for. To be, if I'm perfectly honest with you, I wouldn't have went for Michael Beale myself. And to be honest with you as well, I don't know who would I actually went for. But he's definitely grown in stature into that position, mate. And as far as it goes now, in the league, mate, his report card reads 5 A's and a B, doesn't it? And he's getting a B for the draw against Celtic, and that could have been an A as well. So he's definitely grown into the manager's role at Rangers, mate. And he's coming out. He's when you watch him in his pressers and that as well, mate. He comes across very strong. He looks as if he knows exactly what he's talking about. He's honest. You know what I mean? He's well spoken, and he's certainly epitomises everything that Rangers Football Club are all about, and what we want to be moving forward, mate. So he's definitely doing a proper job for us at the moment, mate. And listen, long may it continue. I hope he goes on and wins the next 300 games, mate. Do you know what I mean? But no, good luck to him. Good luck to him.
Yeah. Coming across as a stronger character. We'll put it out to the listeners if they want to come and give their thoughts after the tune. 0141 356 1972. Is he a stronger character than you first imagined? Because obviously he's been ways and run about the club for a long time, Smith, but he's now the number one rather than the number two, and he seems to be coming out his shell.
He seems to have grown into himself. Seems confident, self-assured, and organically confident, not just sort of, good in front of a camera. He knows the game inside out. He's a top youth coach, and has been in our club, so he's comfortable there. I think it's, it's early days yet, but I'm maybe eating a wee bit of humble pie and glad to eat it as well, because I want to see Rangers doing well. And if,
I'm sure that's not the first time. I'm sure it's not the first time that's happened, mate, is it?
No, it's not. But I have to say that if he continues to grow, do you know what I'd like to see going forward? To get out of, we're in a wee rut, or we're chopping and changing managers You know, we haven't had that many in our history, and we've had a wee spurt where we've had maybe 4 or 5, and I'd like to stop that to stop. And if he continues to grow into the job, I would like to see him there for maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years. You know, really put his stamp, not just in the team, but in the whole ethos of the whole establishment. You know, the institution itself, and really get some good foundations there to really build on going forward, and you know, long-term planning. You know, I'd like to see him stick around for quite a few years if, as I say, he's having success.
Well, we need to keep winning football matches, Billy, but at the moment, if we stop now, he's one minor blemish in his name, and we could have kept to that goal. It would have been a perfect start for him. And I just don't think it's just the results are the most important thing, but also the way he's carrying himself, yeah?
Absolutely, Ox. That's what he does. As I said, he's got a good character about him as well, mate. He knows what Rangers are all about. Obviously, he's been at Rangers before, mate, so he understands what the football club's all about and what it means to the supporters, and what Rangers Football Club just means as a whole. So he understands it all, mate, and he comes across, as I said, mate, he comes across fantastic way he's talking in pressers, and you can see his knowledge about the football, mate. He's been there at youth level. He's done different things. He understands players. He's got an eye for a player. He knows. He's certainly getting a tune out the players. So he knows how to get the best out of players. Now, if he can do that, and maybe let's see what he can do when he gets his own players. He maybe has his own thoughts and who he's wanting to bring in, if that's what he wants to do to strengthen the teammates. So it's all positives for him. And listen, we're not going to make any knee-jerk reactions, obviously, because he's only 6 games in, mate. We've not won nothing yet. You know what I mean? So he'll be judged on what he wins. But you win things when you win games. You know what I mean? You win trophies when you win games. It's as simple as that, mate.
I thought you were at the start there, intelligent, articulate, knows the game inside out. I thought you were talking about me. Sorry, mate. Anyway. Anyway, it's nothing.
Go on.
If you don't mind, we're going to have a tune.
I've been in exile for some years, and my eyes filled up with tears when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. So I took a trip along just to hear some famous songs when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. I stood there all alone while the boys all down from home sang of Rangers, that team of great renown. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now on the field below, the boys put on a show, the likes they'd never seen at Molyneux. And it's football, it was grand, from Macmillan, Scott and Brand, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now the white flag must come nearer with men like Bobby Shearer, the way he played at Wolverhampton town. And the world forever after would sing of Jimmy Baxter, for on his head they placed that noble crown. There's There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers. One of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton Town. Now I knew it had to happen, I heard a mighty roar. The famous Glasgow Rangers, they had scored. And the sky was white and blue, Wolverhampton shook right through. The loyal rampant Rangers had come through. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers. One of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton Town. When the Rangers came to Wolverhampton Town.
Come and join us. 0141 356 1972. Phone in. We will phone you back and come in with any point about the Rangers, what you thought of yesterday's game, or what you think about Michael Beale's first 6 games in charge. Back with us, gentlemen, yeah?
All right. Aye, mate.
Aye, okay, so, Michael Beale, games about players, but the managers always carry the can. They get a lot of plaudits when things go well. Billy, Michael Beale, so far so good.
Definitely, mate. That's just the nature of the beast in football, mate. Football managers live and die by the sword, don't they? And they lie and die by their own decisions, mate. But that's what happened with Gio, unfortunately, and all things are positive under Michael Beale so far, mate. So, as I said, mate, long may it continue, buddy.
Here. Can you put your finger on the differences, Smurf?
Well, I think maybe communication. He communicates to the fans exactly what his plans are, who's going to be a starter, who's going to be a project, all the stuff that, obvious questions and obvious answers the fans are going to want. He's communicating to the players his ideas. You can see that how they're playing, and of course how they're responding on the pitch. I mean, the attitude's different, the body language, form of communication is totally different. If you think about John Lundstrom, was it? I'll probably get this wrong. I think it was about St Johnstone away, and he lost the ball just
before their first goal. Before their first goal,
that. And then he chucked it, and he chased back. He chucked it, and I thought, that's the end of your career, there, the Rangers. Can't be having that. And I mean, you just couldn't. That wouldn't happen. That the John Lundstrom that you're seeing now under Beale, that wouldn't happen. And so, he's got players that want to play for him, and he's obviously communicating effectively to them, and he's getting the best of them. So, or certainly an improvement, shall we say? No, I think that's been the key thing. Is he's communicating with the players, he's getting a tune out of them, and he's communicating with the fans, and he's saying all the right things. So, no, I'm happy. Long may it continue.
Aye, we're here. Aye, I just can't put my finger on it. I just don't know if there's a better atmosphere about this place. A very simple thing to say. It's just a communication bridge, man. But things have definitely looked as if they're picked up. The players seem to have a bit more of a swagger about them. Is that fair?
Yeah, I would say so. It takes a wee while, but I think you see that when you listen to what the guy said when he first came in, he's saying virtually the same stuff, but a wee bit more tempo in his voice. He's really good, I think he's smashing. He's been talking to the players. He sees all the things that he's talked to us about. He sees what's been happening in the training pitches. And the guys are getting fitter and fitter. And I think, was it Cholak had just come back, but he had to go off injured again. So he's not sure whether he'll be fit enough at the weekend. Maybe not, I don't know. But he's and right on top of that, as far as I can see, I think it's great. I think it's marvellous with him. And, you know, as Billy says, you know, the amount of chatting he must be doing to the players and to other members of the staff must be quite incredible, because the buzz about the place is great. It's really good to see. That's what I think. I think he's magic. So I think he's done a great job since he came here. What 6 games? You can't ask for better than that in a moment. 6 games undefeated and scoring a few goals.
I think we've been joined by William. How are we doing, William?
Good evening. Happy New Year, brothers.
Hi, William.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, William.
Or can I call you
Happy
up?
New Year, William.
You can
Happy
call
New
me
Year,
up,
guys.
You can call
Happy
me
New
up.
Year, folks in the background there.
Trust me, I've been called a lot worse.
Mr. Jer, that's okay. I'm still smiling for yesterday, you know, beating that lot. You can't beat it.
Well, we've not a great record up there, mate, have we?
No, you know, I wasn't looking forward to it, because they're usually rubbish games. They just sit back or they kick lumps at us, you know. So I wasn't really looking forward to it, and it was a great dreif first half, you know. But I think, you know, Michael Beale, whatever he's saying to the team at half time, he needs to say it before the game, because every game we've been much better in the second half. You notice when we come out in the second half, much better. So whatever he's saying to them, say it before the game starts. Michael, if you're listening, say it before the game starts. Man of the match for me was Sakala. I thought
Just for the goal. Just for the goal.
Aye, well, I think the goal was amazing. You know, Sam Knox, the way he took that goal, any, you know, a Defoe or a Ali McCoy would have been real proud of that goal. And I think if there had been subtitles, the goalkeeper would have said, "No, wait a minute, ref, can we go back and do that again? Because I wasn't ready." You know, I just did not expect him to hit it when he did. You know, he just took it that quick. You know, if that goal would
have been scored in Qatar, mate, people would have said, "What a finish."
That's right. Imagine if Messi scored that. That'd have been the goal of the tournament.
We've seen with Fashion, I think we all like Fashion, mate. You know,
I just love him, Love him to bits. And that smile, you know. I think he loves Rangers, he loves us, you know. He just, as the guys were saying earlier, I think he's got the package. You know, I think he's bought into the Rangers way of life.
I think he loves life, mate. I think that's the secret.
Aye. Well, I was reading about that, aye.
Aye. He keeps himself busy, doesn't he? Keeps himself fit.
Aye, sorry, back shifts. Aye.
Aye.
I think boys were saying there about Ryan Jack and Lundstrom. I thought Ryan Jack and Lundstrom, I thought when we scored the 2 quick goals, that knocked the stuffing out of Dundee United, and it brought the pace of the game down a wee bit, well, for their side of things. And I think that helped Jack and Lundstrom. That helped to bring them into the game a wee bit more. It was all a wee bit too quick for them, I think, in the first half. With all due respect to them, you know. You know, they had some guys running about, younger guys and fitter guys, you know. Overall, guys are carrying injuries.
If I'm being fair on them in the first half, and slightly Billy might sleep different, I'll bring Billy in. I think some of the problem for the midfield was that we weren't getting that much movement for the front players. Like Tillman was non-existent at times, and Sakala was maybe playing in the same areas that Tillman, Tarvin, and Sakala were going to the same areas as Mark took. There wasn't great movement for Cholak because he's coming back, Billy. So in their defence, even though I didn't think they had a great first half, Jack and Lundstrom, I thought the movement could have been better up front.
Aye, that's fair. That's a fair point. Aye, Tillman he's a lazy boy. He's such a skillful boy, but I think it just strikes me as being a lazy boy. He's got so much skill. He's need to kick up the backside and say, "Hey son, get some work done." You know, they want to sit down and show him the game and say, "Look at the running he's doing. Look at the running he's doing. What are you doing?" He's got all that skill.
I think that's what we're doing, mate. We're developing him because he's hardly played any first team football. And
that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Billy.
Oh, so I think as well, mate, that it's down to that shades of that a breakdown in that system again, mate, with the 2 holding midfielders, because we talk about no having any pace in our midfield, right? But how you meant to have pace if you've got two sitting midfielders? So you're looking for the three guys in front of you, i.e. your Tillmans, your Sakala, and your Ryan Kents. That's the guys with the pace in the team for that for the way that system is set up, mate. And if there's a breakdown in that system and it's not working as across the park as a full unit, mate, then that's how it gets all slow and pedestrian, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. That's just the thoughts I'm picking out in that system, mate.
I think Ryan Jack and Lundstrom, they're not the quickest. And as I say, I think when the two goals knocked the stuffing out of them, it gave them two a wee bit more of a breathing space. It knocked the pace out of their game. I think it killed them off, the two goals. It really did. I mean, it was all us. It was all Rangers for then on. It really was.
Aye, if we'd have got a third goal, that could have been 5 or 6 again,
Aye, that's right.
That's what we're maybe going to learn today. You've got to really kill them off so the game gets easier for you.
But all they had was the long diagonal over the top of Tav. They drew us in, and the plan was the big long diagonal, Middleton running through, and then the square ball for maybe Fletcher running in. Although Fletcher's not the quickest.
They done it twice in the first half, and obviously there was one diagonal ball into Fletcher. They took it well in the second half. Apart from that, I don't think they were up the park, were they?
No, I think John McLaughlin got a game because maybe Michael Beale might have seen Fletcher's tackle on Craig Gordon. Thought we can't risk McGregor getting a broken leg. We'll just put big John McGregor in. I don't think he was keen to run into him.
I think there's maybe method in his madness.
Aye.
And you come Smurf, because that's Ross County and then Dundee United. He's brought.
I know he did say. He did say that he brought him in to deal with
the high boss.
The crosses. Aye, the crosses. And McGregor's no the best at crosses. He's a great shot stopper, but doesn't command his box the way maybe he could. And so that was, Bill said that was himself after the game. That was his rationale, as it were.
All right, we've been joined by Bobby. How are we doing, Bobby?
Fine, absolutely fine. I'm just following up. I heard a wee quote. I was going back to Fridays, and I hope it wasn't a wee dig at me. I only said I don't fancy the boy Nisbet, right?
You're talking yourself up, Bobby. I never even give you a second thought when I said that.
Right. Yeah, I know you were talking about Southside. I don't know he supporters Hibernian.
He's a lover of football all over the world, as our Southside.
Right.
The Rangers, yeah.
Right. What I'm saying, I was at the game yesterday. I got Pellos on the supporters bus when they heard Nisbet scored 3 goals.
Oh, did you get a pounding?
I got a pounding. Absolute pounding.
Well, you're on the right show, mate.
Right.
Nobody gets a pounding here, did it, Billy?
Bobby, listen, pal, I get it tight too, mate. You've got to thick skin on this show, pal.
There's plenty of humble pie around here, tell me.
The point is...
it's simple, Bobby. It's simple, isn't it? You come on, you put your opinion, and then in hindsight, you're either right or wrong. It's easy to be wise after the event, isn't it?
Yeah, but after the comment, it was he scores 3 goals. And you go, what did I say?
Aye.
But I think the man of the match yesterday, was Lundstrom. And I actually think Lundstrom is a better player with the boy Jack in the team.
I don't think you're alone in that. I think there's a time where, in maybe certain games, and that was the 3 started in Seville: Lundstrom, Jack, and Kamara. That was our 3 midfielders that we thought they're going to help us and go us to the final. And we're trying to play a more positive system with the boy Tillman in it yesterday, but Jack and Lundstrom, but there's no lot of pace there, is there?
No, there's no pace. But what they have got is they try and let people. They try and disrupt the play. That's what their job is. Their job isn't to run up and disrupt the play and try and get in there and get the ball to as the last call. Get the ball to Kent or Sakala. And by the way, Sakala's goal was outstanding. And if you watch a boy, he hits it with his right and puts it in with his left. If that was somebody else, we'd all be raving about him. But his goal was outstanding, the wee guy.
Do you think if you said to Sakala, shows how you done that, he could do it again?
No. No, but that's what we love about the wee guy. That's what we love.
I agree, mate. I agree. He's going to score great. He's a great goal scorer, but he's not. He's a great scorer of goals, but he's not a great goal scorer. Yeah. You saw it yesterday. You saw it yesterday. He scored that goal that he scored, and then for the second goal, he actually missed a sitter, which fell to Tillman, and he put it in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
he was there. But he was there to have that chance. He was there. I don't know. Obviously, I quite like the wee guy. I know he's not the best. I like his enthusiasm. I like what he's all about. And it's about time we started saying, "Go on, son." Anyway. My point is, what do you think about this news today about Cantwell and Davis for us?
Well, at the moment, it's rumours, yeah. There's a lot of rumours going about, we've had maybe up to about a dozen players we've been connected with, we've been sent in that. We just wait and see whether they're starting with the scarf on. As long as it's Michael Beale's selection to improve our first team and they do that, I'm happy with myself. The boy, I know more about the boy Cantwell with Norwich than I do the boy Davis, who I've heard with Everton. But the boy Cantwell, when he came into the team, was the next great hope, and his career stalled. As his team he's played with stalled. So we'll see. As long as Michael Beale wants him, Bobby, and he's going to improve our first team, I'm happy with that. I don't want any more projects coming in.
Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is, what do you think? If I were to sign him tomorrow, what would your quote be? It's saying, "Oh, he's all right for us." I want an answer to say, not to say 6 months down the line, all that, and boy Davis or that boy Cantwell is a good player.
Mm-hmm. Well, as I said, I know more about Cantwell. I see him very much in the Tillman role, Bobby.
Right.
That's what I see him. That's the kind of player he is. The guy that makes things happen in the final third. Billy?
Aye, mate. I don't know too much about the laddie right enough, but what I do know of him, mate. He seems to be that type of player. He's maybe a door opener type football player, mate. So, but listen, as you touched on, Ox, it's all speculation in that, the new Bobby. You know what I mean? That's just typical Rangers, isn't it, mate? We're linked to every man in their dug, But as long as if Michael Beale, if that's who he's wanting to bring in, and obviously Michael Beale will know him. He'll know what he's all about, and he'll obviously with the youth set up and all that. So he'll know everything about what makes a laddie tick. And if he thinks he can come in, bring that laddie in, and he'll do a job for Rangers, mate. And he thinks the laddie's, I wouldn't say he'll be the finished article, but he'll be the type of football player that's going to hit the ground running at Rangers, mate. Then if Michael Beale thinks he's okay for it, mate, then I'm all for it, mate. If it's going to be beneficial to Rangers, buddy.
This time last week, Bobby, if I'm being fair, and I'll take this to Smurf, I mean, we wouldn't have thought there weren't any names that were in the frame, but as long as Michael Beale wants them and they're going to improve our first team, aye, let's see where it takes us. Smurf?
I think that's the key is these are boys that have, they were England under 21 internationals. They were big things ahead, predicted for them. They've got themselves in a bit of a rut. He knows what he's dealing with there. He's been a coach, youth players and all the rest of it. He'll be able to take them, give them a fresh start, put some confidence in them, tell them exactly what he wants. He's already said that anybody that brings in will be for a specific goal and a specific job. So they'll know what they're there to do. And then hopefully it gives them the opportunity and the platform and the stage to reignite their careers, get them back on track, and hopefully in 3 years' time, punt them again for a few bob. And I think that's the idea behind it. So they will be his guys, and that's the difference between getting a guy that's a top class footballing coach, now making his strides into management, as opposed to just a manager, a man manager, as it were, where he can don both hats, and he can further develop players. No every manager can do that, and so I think it bodes well going forward. Definitely, I'm all for it. As long as they're starters and they're his guy, they're his idea, then brilliant. And you never know, he might bring in Dele Alli as well.
Billy, what's your thinking?
Regarding, sorry,
you're
Wally. Wouldn't you go, Wally? Sorry,
Billy,
pal.
will you be quiet,
If you don't know the difference between Billy and Willie, you could get in right in trouble, right? William, carry on.
Aye, well, see, Billy, you and me, we are the Billy boys, all right?
Correct.
I think if Michael Beale, he'll be doing his homework. He knows his stuff. As I said when he got the job, I was delighted to get the job because I think he's a proper coach. I think he knows his stuff. And I think we've seen that because of the way he changes the games at his half-time team talk. Every game has changed. And I think Nesbitt, no for me. Main reason for me is that I wouldn't want to give Hibs one penny. I wouldn't want to give them a penny. I saw his goals yesterday. 2 of them were tap-ins. I could have scored at least 2 of them. Really. So he's no for me. Ryan Jack, I'm not giving him an hour contract. I used to love Ryan Jack to bits. But when he was out for 4 or 5 weeks, and then he came back for 20 minutes and then away he went with Scotland. And that finished me with Ryan Jack. I think Michael Beale's maybe getting a wee bit more out on him than Gio was getting out of him. I think that, but that's happened with a lot of the players. I think we can see that, but I'm finished with Ryan Jack. I think he's missed over 100 games. I think his time's up. But these two you're talking about, Alex, I think, as I say, Michael Beale will do his homework. And I hope he looks into their history of injuries. I hope they'll not get injury. I hope they're not injury prone. We've got enough of these guys.
Yeah, no luck, but they've never had an injury in their career. Walk in the door and they'll be injured for 6 months.
Aye. Trip over the white line.
Aye, that's it. I'm just going to take you down memory lane. A couple of birthdays today, and these two weren't bad. Gattuso and Caniggia. Oh, Bobby.
Excellent.
There's a couple of players there.
But there's a couple of players, yeah. And the other one was Negri before he got Perini with the squash ball. Yeah, that was another one that could have been a superstar at Ivers. But that's on the pastime. And I agree with the call. And I quite like Michael Beale. I like what he's all about. And here's another one for Friday. What about Lyndon Dykes for his old team?
I don't think Dykes was very complimentary about Beale when he left, but you don't know how much of that's just paper nonsense, But was
there not a talk when he was at Livingston we could maybe have had them?
That was rumoured, mate. That was rumoured.
Yeah.
But it was also rumoured that Bridgeman bought a drink. Bridge.
There's
a glass of water.
Well, you don't need to worry about the rumour. It's not true. Well, that is true. No, I think we covered the Dykes one a couple of years ago now. Dykes to Rangers, and there's a lot of folks said positive about it, and he's a big fella. He's maybe just the guy we need. My honest opinion, I don't like the guy. I never liked the guy at all, and I thought he would what he got away with in a Livingston jersey, he would never have got away with Rangers because they got under examination too much, And it's the same with that boy Nisbet. It scores goals, don't get me wrong. Nisbet scores goals, but I wouldn't have him. No for me. If he comes in, well, he's a Rangers player and that's all there is to it, so I'll need to support him. But no for transfers, no for me. Is that what you say, Willie?
What, Dykes? I would take Dykes, to be honest. I think he's a big rough and ready boy. He's good with the heat.
Same here.
And he can put his slab out. He's a big strong boy. I mean, he's in the Scotland setup. That's a great reference for MD, but
I'll ask you this question. I'll start with Bobby. Just, I don't know why. Bobby, over a season, who would score more goals for you, Dykes or Nisbet?
Nisbet.
Oh, sorry, Bobby. Good. Yeah, you're right, mate.
What? That doesn't mean I want that, does it? Is it the call said? That doesn't mean I want him for Rangers.
No, I'm not saying that, but your bus does.
I've still got that years, man. I took pillars for an hour.
I bet you were glad the game was the Aberdeen.
Defenders, they'll be changing their tune.
I bet you were glad the game was the Aberdeen yesterday.
But you asked me a question. I would say Nisbet, but I don't want Nisbet. I don't want Shankland. I don't really want Dykes, but I don't know who else we're going to get. I don't know a player that's going to say.
She's a goal scorer. We've got Cholak, that kind of poacher type, good finisher. Do we need something like this? But
well, if all our forwards were fit, really fit. Morelos was at his peak of his powers. Ruth was at his peak of the powers, and Cholak plays like he does. He wouldn't need anybody. But Alfie could walk out the door any time. Ruth. Well,
finished that.
Yeah, we get that with Ruth. He's definitely he's not for a long term. So you've got to keep looking. You've got to keep looking beyond as well.
But what I'm saying is, we've got Cholak on the contract he's on. Mm-hmm. Should we be looking for somebody a bit different to Cholak? Because I think Nisbet's not a dissimilar player to Cholak, although no, he's good.
That's a reasonable point of view, mate, and that'll come down to what Michael Beale wants. Billy.
Aye, mate. I think that's a good shout, mate. You can, like for talking about, you get two players that natural goal scorers, but you've got to try and, I think as well, mate. We've got to watch and we've got to be clever what we're doing here as well regarding strikers, mate, because we can't. It's all right having goal scorers. I mean, we've cried out we need a Rangers number 9. We're wanting 20 goals, 25 goals a season off these guys. You know what I mean? And then one on the flip side of the coin, you're saying, well, he's too similar to that one. So we can't have cake and eat it type thing, guys. But Lyndon Dykes is more a big target man. You know what I mean? So he and as you rightly said, he does put himself about, whereas his Kolach is more a goal scorer. And when you look at the game yesterday, the way it started regarding with Kolach playing up front, albeit to go off with a knock, right? But when they brought Morelos on, it gives the Rangers team a different dimension up front than Kolach, because we all know Kolach's game is more about getting service to him and getting the ball in the box, whereas Alfredo's game is more outside the box and ragdolling 2 and 3 defenders or the park.
Billy, see in hindsight, do you think he should have done it the other way about? Started Morelos and brought Cholak on?
Well, that's it. We could talk about that, mate, to the accuser from him, mate. That's you just saying a wee go at me, mate, just because I said I would start him in the big heavy part, they maybe wouldn't get injured.
No, what I'm saying is give him the last half an hour, getting roughly the same minutes. But when you start the game passed him by a wee bit. He did look rusty, didn't he?
You can have looked at it that way as well, Ox. That's a good shout, and all maybe playing Morelos. But I think the gaffer was stuck between a rock and a hard place, to be perfectly honest with you, mate. Because I think he's maybe said to himself, well, we rest Alfredo. And then Guy Kolach a start. I mean, he didn't know he was going to take a knock in his calf, so it could have went either way or that. But back on the other guy's comments as well, there, Ox, regarding Lyndon Dykes. I think he's valued around about 4 million, mate, £4.5 million or something like that. So, are we going to pay that money for a striker? And you could look on it on the flip side. You could go down if we went down the Nisbet road. You're only maybe pay half of that, mate.
You're going to have to pay a few quid for him as well. They're not going to be really
Yep.
We're not going to give us a good deal if we want him. It's not what Scottish clubs do, is it, Smurf?
No, I mean, if you just look at the contemporary history, players leaving clubs now and going to bigger things, they're generally paying about the 3 million mark, aren't they? You know, you look at the boys that have gone to Italy. No, I think we'll have to pay a bit more than 1.5, 2 million for Nisbet. I think maybe they would want about 3 or 4 and all. You know, and you look at what's at Ibrox to try and sort of ascertain value. You know, you're looking at Tillman. Are you really going to pay 5 million for him? Are you going to pay 4 million for Sands? You know?
Well, Sands is as people have come back and the team's settled, we've only seen Sands sparingly, isn't he? You know, we haven't seen a lot of him. You know, as people have come back into positions, you know. And there's more to come back, isn't there? More players to come back. It'll be interesting.
I think... Sorry, Ox.
Oh, carry on, mate.
I think, Smurf, that regarding the situation with Malik Tillman, mate, he's only 20 years of age, and if Bayern Munich are looking for 5 million quid for him, mate, I think that makes a lot of good football sense and business sense, because we know the laddie can play football, and if we can bring him on as well, we could sell him on for a lot more than 5 million quid, mate. That's a certainty that we could move him on for if we wanted to sell him on. Regarding the boy Sands, mate, I didn't think I wouldn't pay the £4 million for that laddie. Definitely no, mate. But I would, if I was the Rangers board right now, and Michael Beale obviously fancies a big Tillman, mate, I think the board should pay the money for him, because he's definitely he's definitely got to be a football player in the future, mate, and hopefully it'll be in a blue jersey.
There's no doubt in his ability, but he's very pedestrian, and
how did you judge his first half performance yesterday?
He's no for that's not on. But then saying that, you know, you're looking at Sakala's taking up all his bandwidth. You know, he's running about like doing heat, and
then falling over the ball.
You know, and ironic, you know, he's got the two guys. You get the two guys that he wants. He's put on there to get goals, to chip in, not just with the main striker, with Sakala and Tillman. One of them runs about like a doing heat, and if you were to give him any advice, it would be take a chill pill, mate. Just on still, maybe. And the other one, you'd be like, see him run about like a bit more energy like that for you. You know, you're too much for one and no the other. It's just.
If I was Tillman, I would say Sakala's doing my running.
Aye, that would be his argument. That's an argument Cooper would have made, wouldn't it? But I don't think I wouldn't pay 5 million for Tillman. No way. And I don't see how anybody can, you know, if you're pedestrian up here in this league, you know, you're to make it in that Premiership, and that's where you want to sell players to. You want to sell them in the English Premiership, because that's where you get the best bang for your buck. You know, as a selling club, that's where you're going to make money. You're no going to sit. He's got the height, he's got the power, he's a big strong boy, he's good in the air, he's a good football player. But for me, he just isn't mobile enough.
Can I ask you a question on that?
Which was the group? Hold on a minute. Was the big selling point for me, the big attribute of Joe Aribo was his mobility, and that's the one thing he doesn't have, that boy Tillman, in my opinion.
And you come, Bridge?
No, it was just to ask the question. Look, a lot of the players in our team at the moment aren't quite 100%, neither fully fit or match fit. When they become match fit, Tillman will become a far better player. But I do think he holds the ball well, and he can run with the ball. He's not the fastest person in the whole world, but he can run with the ball and he can hold it. Yeah, I think that's quite good for him. Other than that, I think he's going to be a really good player. I don't know whether I would spend £5 million to get him. You know, So, but maybe 3 million, or maybe stretch it to that. But I don't know what that other team wanted. Is it Bayern Munich or something?
Yeah, remember that £5 million only paper talk. Remember that?
Of course.
Right, I've got a question for you, right? And we're going to start with the guy for the Kevin Nisbet loyal, right? Okay, right. Right, January signings. Here's a few, and you can rate them and see who the best one was. Kevin Thompson, 2 guy, Stephen Davis or Chris Boyd. Just a selection, mate. There's been others over the years, of course.
Kevin Thompson.
Oh. William?
It's got to be Chris Boyd because he's a big pal of mine. I know Chris personally. And look at all the goals he scored for us.
Nepotism there. I don't know if that counts, you know.
Aye, definitely. He's a big pal of mine.
Okay. Smurf?
Stephen Davis for me.
Aye, a country mile. Billy Boy?
2 guy.
Bridgeman?
I would go with Stephen Davis. But can I just say, all the ones that you selected to ask the question, all great Rangers players. All great Rangers players. But I'd stick Stephen Davis.
I'd be no bad midfield that with Boyd up front, would it? Kevin Thompson winning the ball and then Stephen Davis helping out and organising, and then just get you 2 guys to pass it to Chris Boyd. That'd work. I would plump for Stephen Davis, maybe because, but they're all good players. Kevin Thompson, 2 guys, some ability, Bobby here.
Oh, can I just give my point across? I think it was Billy or William, whatever you call him, right? I made the point, and it's a point I was trying to make Friday. He said Kolak and Nisbet are too similar. That is the point I was making. I wasn't saying Nisbet was a bad player. I was saying he's too similar to Kolak, and we can't play like that.
Is that you saying that because you think the Nisbet loyal are listening?
No, the Nisbet loyals are not.
The difference? There is a difference between Cholak and Nisbet. You know that?
Where?
Well, one's got a bus named after him, the other hasn't.
Right, okay. Hey, I'll take it in the chin, right?
No, I get what you're saying. You don't want people the same, but what we've seen this year, you do need a blend of people in your team, in your squad, and you cover for injuries. And Nisbet, I don't know, what is he, 24, 25, Billy? Is that what age he is?
25, mate, aye. 25.
He's a bit younger than the rest of the guys we've got. Cholak's 29. Obviously, if Alfie leaves us, as similar age to Nisbet. Roof, well, we don't know how much mileage we'll go off to him. But listen, we were on it. Southside's putting it out there because he thinks he's a Scottish player that would, some of the homegrown, he'd tick a lot of boxes for us. It's all about opinions, Bridgeman.
No, you're absolutely right, and I was speaking to Southside about that, and I've just got this thing about me and about Scottish players. Certainly,
we need them, Bridge, because of the rules.
Oh yes, I understand that. I know that. Don't doubt that for a minute. I would rather put my faith in some youngsters coming through for the team, or go down to England and buy Scottish players. Scottish guys. From England. But I just don't want to give any of those teams for what they've done to us the last 10 years. I'm sorry. I'm not keen on giving them any money at all. They've never supported us once. Not once. They've never supported us in any initiative we've put forward.
We've got to watch them. We don't cut off on that. We don't cut off our nose to spite our face. Just wait a minute. If you get yourself on mute, we've got a wee tune for somebody. Let's hear it.
I'm her yesterday man. Well, my friends, that's what I am. I'm her yesterday man.
That was for Fox, mate. I think that was for you, Bobby, but it's not even funny. I don't even know where he's coming from, if I'm being honest.
Is this like Bobby night? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now, well, I'll come back to you we signed Kevin Nisbet and he's a balloon for us. And I'll, okay.
We're not getting him, Bobby. We're not getting him. We're not giving them money. We're not giving them a penny. Not one blue penny are they getting.
Well, really, we shouldn't be going to Dundee United, but we all did. We all did yesterday. We shouldn't even be going to their park.
I know.
But we all did. For the Rangers.
I wouldn't go to any away ground. I would only go to Ibrox.
Right. I'm just saying.
For the rest of my life, I'll never go to any away ground.
We'll have this debate all the time. If you don't mind me asking you, William, what age are you, roughly?
64.
Right. Did you go as a young man to all the away games?
I went to some. No enough of work, because I was into the refereeing for nearly 30 years.
I know.
So,
obviously,
I'll tell you a wee story, Ox. When Chris Boyd was playing the youth on the Saturday morning, we used to do the games on the Saturday morning, and then we used to see him at Ibrox with his Rangers scarf on the Saturday afternoon. It was so funny. It was great. Big smile on his face. He saw me and the boy, and it's just a big smile because he'd seen us in the morning. Because my boy used to be a referee as well. And he saw us at the game in the morning, and then they were going into Ibrox, 3 Rangers fans together. It was great.
I bet you that time you never thought Boyd would be doing all the media work that he does now.
No, I never. Honestly, I never did. But he's got rid of that in Sutton. You've got to give him that. He's got rid of him. He's buried him. He's buried a lot of them actually. He's on all the time now, big Boydie.
He's done well. He's done really well. When he was playing with us, I never seen him with that. See Chris Boyd in the youth. See, under 18, he was the hardest working player I've ever seen in my life. He ran himself into the ground. He really did. I kid you not. Chris Burke. Remember Chris Burke? Chris Burke was one of the most skillful players I've ever seen. I read Hutton, who said that he was coming through similar areas, not that far away. And he thought he was a good striker to seen Boyd.
Aye. That's right, aye. Hutton was a striker, and John Brown said, this boy's got a great engine, put him to the back. He can run up and down there all day.
Bobby, see, you go back to your point about Nisbet. Nisbet might not even come to our club, but if he does and he scores goals, mate, you'll get it tight forever. Right?
Of course I will.
Right, but see our scouting department, there must be players out there that we've got to say there's somebody here, somebody there that can come in and play for us that's going to be improved. There's gems out there, isn't there? There's got to be.
Well, that's what I've been saying to you. There's got to be. I've not got all the answers. That's where the scouting comes in. And that other guy, he's got out of jail. He's got out of jail with Beale. We don't even mention what's his name?
Wilson.
Ross Wilson. We don't even mention him now. He's got out of jail. He made a hell of a lot of bad signings for us, and he's got out of jail now.
Here.
So,
do you think it was a mistake? The boy Ferguson at Bologna now. Do you think that was do you think that was a mistake? No, getting that boy in.
Yes.
No.
Because I think he is a true box-to-box midfielder. That boy's got some engine.
Aye, but remember the club where he's contracted, they have got to be willing to sell him to you.
No, well, there is that, aye.
Folks.
Yes, mate.
The Scottish referees, that boy Ferguson at Rangers, they'd have hammered him.
100%
absolutely have hammered him.
100% agree.
Aye. He'd never got a chance.
Maybe you got you and your mates to referee again.
Well, folks, I just know all about it, I just know what they're all about. I really do.
Right, come back to the transfer window. Well, at the moment, if you look at it, with Roof coming back and Joak coming back, striker is my main priority. Bobby, you're the head of recruitment. You're Michael Beale. What's the position you'd be going for? Seriously, mate.
I said to you on Friday night, we guy for Bodø Glimt.
Oh, you did? He's an attacking midfielder, yeah?
Yeah. That's what we need. We need.
That's what the boy Todd Cantwell was, Billy.
Aye, mate. Well, listen, we're talking about an attacking midfielder. But look at the system. We play back to the system. We play with 2 holding midfielders. But I hear what you're saying with an attacking midfielder. It gives you another option going forward. I get that. But with the system we've played under Michael Beale, the 4-2-3-1, there's no position in that system for an attacking midfielder, because the pace is
the guy who's in front of the two, innit?
Aye.
Tillman, innit?
Yep.
Sakala on the right, going left, and Kent starting left, but can go anywhere, and Tillman sort of through the middle. That's the theory behind it. Yeah.
I think as well, you've got the two boys sitting. The idea is as well, you've got the overload and the overlap with the two fullbacks as well. So, for instance, say Kamara's playing on the left, he's one of these sitting midfielders, and you've got Barisic goes through in the overlap. He can always tuck in to cover him, and vice versa. They'll shift our one. And I think that's the idea. It's not just about the attack coming for the midfielders. I think going back to the system that Gerrard played, where he had two false tens almost, you're getting a wee bit closer to Alfie, which gave the space in the wings for the overlap with the fullbacks. I think that's what I see anyway. The rationale behind the two sitting midfielders. But I'm not so sure that we should be playing that system at Ibrox.
Against certain teams, no. I don't disagree with you, mate. We should be more adventurous, yeah?
Aye.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Bridgeman?
I don't know what to think. I've said everything about the New Year signings that are coming up. I'm hoping that the two chaps that the manager has mentioned, or supposedly mentioned, I'm hoping that they two come in. I'd love it to wake up tomorrow morning or the day after and say the deal's done. That would be fabulous for Rangers. And the two chaps can, one for Everton, isn't it? One from Everton, and the boy for Norwich, Cantwell. They're good players. They're good players. I think that would be smashing for the Rangers. And the fans will be very happy. Two new players coming in. And full first team players, to all intents and purposes, first team players. And they'll walk in. There are no loans. Not going to be any of these guys that can come in and you need to wait for 10 weeks for them to get fit or something like that. They should be able to walk straight in. That is what I want. I think that's most Rangers fans want that. Other than that, I'm happy.
I would agree with that, and with an engine as well. You know, guys with an engine that are mobile and get pace and you can go and go and go again. You know, we lack pace and we're a bit pedestrian in midfield, I think. And it's not even just
I'd love them
legs.
Just have a shot at goal. Bring two guys in that'll have a good shot at goal. I don't mean two guys, sorry. Two chaps in that'll have a shot at goal. That's the most important thing for me. Play football, box to box if that's what you want. But please, when you're up there, somewhere around about the 18-yard box, have a dig. Because you ain't going to score if you don't shoot.
Very true, very true.
Well, what about Lawrence? We should buy that guy Lawrence. Huh? I think that's who we're talking about here. That's the guy we're missing.
Aye, well, hopefully we need to see him back in the shop first. You know, we've been unlucky there. He was just finding his feet. I mean, I think his best game for us was away in PSV, William.
Aye, he was just an ideal player for us. It's so upsetting that he's been out all this time just before the first game against the Puddle Drinkers.
And I was
looking forward to him playing in that because somebody said he scores a lot of goals in derby matches.
And he's also got a wee bit of physicality about him. He doesn't mind the tackle or that, does he?
Well, remember he kicked the lumps out of Tav when we played them in the friendly.
That's right. I am in Tav in the running battle, didn't he, against Derby?
I saw him, Ox, and I thought he's ideal for us. He's just what we need. I think that boy Davis, he to me looks like a younger, fitter Arfield. You know, any time I've seen him playing for Everton, he gets the ball in the midfield and he's no fear to take a run and take a shot.
Is this what we're doing then, William? You mentioned Arfield about bringing these guys in. You give them 6 months at the club. All right, they might feature a bit, but it's all for next season. But they're ready to go and replace these people.
Aye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Aye.
I think it's important to be. You know, we're talking about incomings. We're going to be thinking about outgoings as well. If you're no one to be at the club, or you're injury prone, or you know your age is father time's caught up with you, then I'm sorry, it's bye Purdy. I think
just going back to that, I thought Scott Wright was very well turned out again yesterday, Billy.
No,
Aye,
it's out of place.
Aye, they're Stormer, aren't they?
Well turned out, immaculate. Socks were on neat. Hair was neat on the park he came.
Aye.
Could play with a shirt and tie on him in a suit.
Oh, his mum must be awful proud. He's awful well turned out.
Lovely boy.
I think
Lovely
William
boy.
made a good point about Ryan Jack as well regarding the scenario with Scotland guys, because you've got to think about it as well. I mean, if we're going to keep Ryan Jack, or we're trying to keep him fit, right? You're wanting fit first and foremost for the team that's paying his wages. I don't want to see a Ryan, especially more so with the scenario what happened regarding the Scotland setup, right? So I don't want to see Ryan Jack playing for Scotland. I want to see the best of Ryan Jack playing for Rangers. I don't want to see Ryan Jack going strutting his stuff for Scotland. You know what I mean? So that's a cracking point there, William. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Definitely all day long, mate. So, but Ryan Jack's got to think about as well, right? What's he got to do here? Has he going to concentrate on his club football, or is he going to retire for international football to try and play his club football longer? Because he certainly can't do he can't do the two regarding his injury history, mate. You know what I mean? It's blatantly obvious there.
Listen,
he can't play for us, and he goes and play for that Rat Clark. If that was my boy, I'd lock him in his room. I'd let him go and play for that Rat Clark.
There's a lot of water to go under the bridge between now and the end of the season before some of these guys are looked at. You know, for Ryan to play every week from now to the end of the season would be unusual for him, Bobby, yeah?
Yeah, it would be. But the colours, right, I don't want to see him playing for Scotland. I'm not interested in Scotland. I'm interested in playing for Rangers.
Here.
Aye, you have to think about it. And he's got, his career, he's in the back end of his career now, Smurf, isn't he? Without a doubt, he's in his 30s, you know. And the way he plays, he's not going to have longevity, is he? Unless he goes in goal.
But the thing is, it's a good point. He's a combative player. He's a history of injuries, and you know, everybody's been lucky. Let's say Stephen Davis, where injuries and that are concerned. You know, albeit Judge had a knee injury, but he's 38. You know, I don't think he's got the years in front of him that maybe some other players would have. And no, I don't know. It's going to be. It's who wants to be there. Who's going to get thinned out. I don't know. But it's a balance, isn't it? You still need experienced players that maybe aren't going to play every game. So he's going to need to be careful with what he's doing in terms of who's getting ready, because there's an ethos, and these senior pros are the guys that carry that and implement it. So it's all right saying people are too old or the hell, the injury prone, whatever. Maybe I'm not sure. I'm not so sure we could just call everybody. And
no, we should be. If it's right, if Ryan Jack played every game for you at the end of the season, played well, and we done well in some of the competitions, and he's getting man of the matches every week, you'd be naive not to give him another year's extension. But the way it's gone in our club, he would do that and we give him a 4-year extension. Everybody would have their horns. You know what I mean?
Aye, maybe if you're going to get 25, 30 games a season, you know, including cup games, and you give him a year's rolling contract at a reduced wage, then maybe do that. But you know, you've got to get value, and you've got to get a return for it as well. So
yeah. Well, gentlemen and Bobby, we've reached that time of the evening. Thanks for your call.
Hey, Bobby.
So, Ops,
yes,
one last word.
Yes.
One last word. The next time I phone you up, I'll just call myself Kevin Nisbet, okay? Okay.
Bobby, don't worry about it. Just use your middle name, Kevin.
Ops, can I just do a wee shout out quick, please? I know normally do something.
For Bobby or for Kevin Nisbet?
I'm just going to say a wee shout out to the Kevin Nisbet loyal.
Brilliant.
Listen, Bobby, don't worry. Just the next time you come on, just use your middle name, Kevin.
Right, no bother, mate. Right,
Thanks, William. Cheers,
Bye.
Billy. Thanks, Smurf. Thanks,
Bye
William.
then. Bye.
Last word for your good self, Billy.
Aye, Ox, thanks very much for having us on the show. It was good to sit and talk about all good things Rangers. My wee pal there, or my big pal Bridgeman, thanks very much, mate. And listen, looking forward to the game at the weekend, mate, but I'm sure you'll touch on that as the rest of the week goes on, mate. But I'm on the Rangers on Sunday. Thanks very much, mate. No surrender.
Bridgeman.
Oh, what can I say? Great night again. Wonderful night there, Ox. Big shout out to the boys in the background, and of course to Billy. Thanks for looking after me like Billy. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, we had a fabulous result yesterday, a great second half. Let's keep it going for the Rangers, everybody. Really looking forward to this cup semi-final, or cup quarter-final, should I say. Keep it going.
Yep. Yeah, cheers to William. Thanks for the call, William.
Aye, okay, Ox. Listen, Ox.
Yes,
We're not giving out new contracts. It's life memberships we're giving out.
It looks like that, mate.
Thanks for taking my call, Ox. It's a great show.
Cheers, mate. Good to speak
Thank
to you.
you. Good night.
Cheers to
Good night,
William.
guys.
Cheers to Smurf.
Mate.
And cheers to the one and only Bobby, or as he's done now, Kev, to his mates. Thanks to Billy and Bridgeman for doing the show, Fox and All School Blue for doing the technicals, everybody for listening here at Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, All School Blue.
Hurrah! Hurrah! We are the Billy Boys. Hurrah! Hurrah! We make a lot of noise. We're up to here, we never fear. We all are Billy sons. We are the Glasgow Billy Boys. We belong to Glasgow, we're orange and we're true. Scotland is our country, our colours white and blue. We're Protestants and proud of it, we're known from near and far. Glasgow Billy Boys, they call us. Hurrah! Hurrah! We are the Billy Boys. Hurrah! Hurrah! We make a lot of noise. We're up to here, we never fear. We all are Billy sons. We are the Glasgow Billy Boys. On the 12th day of July, you'll find us in the walk with our brother orange men. There's Sandy, Bill and Jock. Willie is our hero, he beat them at the Boyne. Glasgow Billy Boys, they call us. Hurrah! Hurrah! We are the Billy Boys. Hurrah! Hurrah! We make a lot of noise. We're up to here, we never fear. We all are Billy sons. We are the Glasgow Billy Boys. We believe in freedom. We won our fight that day. At the Battle of the Boyne, we're very proud to say, James, he was defeated, justice had been done. Raise now a glass to King